So 2G is stopping everywhere and it already stopped in couple of countries like USA, Canada. So now let's just prepare for our future IoT projects and let's start learning and making using 4G LTE. And in this video, I'll be talking about the Maduino 4G LTE module and I'll let you know everything about it, like what are its specifications, how to use it with Arduino IDE for making some basic projects like making and receiving phone call, sending and receiving SMS, getting GPS coordinates. Yes, this model also has GPS model built in. And then we'll also be testing the AT commands for requesting HTTP API for maybe controlling our Blynk appliances. Yes, we'll be definitely trying that in this video. And in the end, I'll be letting you know one very interesting feature of this board, which is it can give internet access to your laptop or computers directly from this 4G module. So you're gonna learn a lot of things about this board in this video. Just tighten up your seatbelt as we'll be starting this video at a 4G speed, but after this short, very useful ad. Do you know what most electronic companies have something in common? Well, it's the tool that they use for making their products, and the most commonly used tool that almost all the big electronic companies uses is the LTM PCB designer software. Using LTM, you can definitely level up your PCB designing skills and make something really professional out of it. And now, along with the integration of Octopart, searching for any electronic components globally becomes really very easy. Octopart is kind of Google for just electronic components, where you can search for any electronic parts and get that information all on one single web page. So do check out this amazing search engine made just for electronic components. I'll leave the link for this down in the description. Do check it out. So here is the Maduino Zero 4G LTE board which I got from Makerfabs. I'll leave its purchase link down in the description of this video. I got the 7600E version as I live in India. You can choose the version based upon your location. Now talking about the specs of this board then. This board is based on SIM7600 module which supports LTE Cat 4 up to 150 Mbps downlink and 50 Mbps uplink speed. But other than 4G, it can also support the older 2G and 3G communication. Now to give this 4G model some commands to perform, we have an onboard ATMega Samd21 which is an ARM based microcontroller and can be easily programmed using Arduino IDE. Then we have a USB Type-C port for programming the microcontroller, another Type-C port for LTE communication, dedicated reset buttons for both SIM7600 and microcontroller, a 3.5mm audio jack using which we can do voice communication, a dedicated port for connecting external speaker, then we have a GPS antenna connector, a main LTE antenna connector, a auxiliary LTE antenna connector, a battery connector, and on-off switch. On the back, we have a slot for SIM card, two slots for two SD card, out of which one is connected with the microcontroller and other is connected directly with the SIM7600. Now talking about the pins then, here we get the pins for I2C based devices and couple of GPIOs to add external input-output devices. So that's the complete specification of this board. Well, after going through its specification, it seems like it's a complete package for making a lot of IoT projects. But after going through its specs, one question arises in my mind, and probably many of you would have the same question in the mind, which is why this 4G module has two separate antennas on it. One is called as the main antenna and another called as an auxiliary antenna. Well, after doing a little bit of research, I found out that all the 4G modules uses a secondary antenna for two main reasons. Out of them, one is for the error correction. So they do the error correction by receiving the signal from both the antenna and comparing the signals. And second reason is to increase the connectivity range, and hence the Maduino 4G LTE board has a two antenna on it. So after knowing about all the specification of this board, let's start using this Maduino board using Arduino IDE. So now let's start with how to program this Maduino 4G board using Arduino IDE, and you'll get the details about how to program it on the official website. So when you scroll down, here you'll get the hardware firmware page, and when you click on it, it will take you to this GitHub repository where you can find all the details. Okay, I'm sorry, let me go back. Okay, so this is that GitHub repository, and here inside the example part you'll get all the 4 examples. Okay, out of them we'll be using this AT command demo as of now to test all the AT commands. Okay, but you can check other other examples as well, but everything will be probably covered in this part only. Okay, so I'll click on raw and I'll simply copy this thing and I'll paste it inside my Arduino IDE. Okay, so here is that particular code. Now to upload the code, you first need to install the board's packages, and for that you need to go to tools, into the board, and then into the boards manager. Here just search for SAMD. Okay, so you'll get the Arduino Samd boards, and inside that Arduino Zero board is there, which we'll be using for uploading the code inside this Maduino board. So you need to install this boards package. I already installed it, so it's not an issue from my side. Now here inside the tools part, okay, you need to select the board called as Arduino Zero native USB port. This will be used for uploading the code. Okay, now here before hitting the upload button, you first need to insert the SIM card into the board. Now here you can definitely go for the Geo SIM card. Now this was the most common question asked to me by a couple of my subscribers. So yes, you can use the Geo SIM card because it supports the 4G bands. Okay, so after inserting SIM card, you need to attach all the 3 antennas. Okay, 2 for the cellular communication and 1 for the GPS. Okay, after doing that, just connect the USB cable with this board, and now you can select the right port which is available here, which is Arduino Zero native USB port, and just directly hit the upload button. Okay, so it will directly upload this code onto the board, and let's just wait for the code. Okay, it started uploading. It's done uploading pretty fast. Okay, it says Maduino Zero 4G test start, so it started running the demo code, and yeah, it executed a command as well. So let's just type AT here and let's see if we are getting a response or not. Okay, so it's perfectly working fine, and now we can provide the AT commands to do a couple of tasks. So let me show you some of the basic AT commands. So first command will be AT plus CGMM. If we type this command, it will let us know the model of the SIMCOM we are using. So we are here using a 7600EH. Okay, so that's the model number, and after that when you type AT plus CPIN question mark, so it will print as ready in case you have attached the SIM card properly. Okay, so that's the command for checking the SIM card. Then we can check out the number as well by typing the command as AT plus CNUM. Okay, by typing this command, you'll be able to see the number of the SIM card. So this is the number of my techiesms Studios office. So yeah, this is the number. I am getting the number here with the help of this command, and then we can check the network operator name as well if we type the command as COPS. Okay, if you press question mark here, as you can see, it is returning as Geo 4G. So as I'm using the Geo SIM card, it is printing the Geo 4G operator. Okay, these are the basic commands using which you can check out the SIM connection and the network operator and a mobile number as well. Okay, now let's just move on to the calling part, and let's see if we are able to make and receive calls using this or not. Okay, so first, before doing the calling command, we need to do a couple of configurations just to make sure everything runs perfectly fine. Out of them, the first configuration is AT plus CSDVC. Okay, if we press question mark here, it returns as 013. Now what is this command for? Well, this is the command to select the communication channel. Okay, so there are 3 types of communication, or we can say mics and speakers attached to on a smartphone. One is the earpiece from which we are calling like this. Okay, that's the earpiece, and second is the aux cable, okay, using which we can insert the headset, and third is the loudspeaker. Okay, so these 3 channels are displayed here. So in case we are typing if we are providing CSDVC as 0, it will be enabling the earpiece mode. If we type 1, it will be enabling the auxiliary cable mode, and if we type 3, it will enable the loudspeaker mode. So we are testing this as of now in the auxiliary cable. So we'll be inserting a headset in that and we'll be testing it out. So we'll be making it as 1. Okay, so it's successfully shifted to 1, so we can now talk with the auxiliary cable. Now we need to set the level, like the audio level, which you can set it by typing this command as CLVL. If you write question mark here, it is returning as 4. So the volume is in the range of 0 to 5, where 5 is the maximum volume. Okay, so we have put a 4 here. We can change it to 5 as well, just like this. I can change it to is equal to 5, and it's shifted to 5. So it's the maximum volume we'll be getting inside the earpiece. So that's the one thing, and now we are good to go to make a call. So what I'll do is, let's have a demo call here. So I'll be calling from this particular module to one of my enter here in the studio, and let's have a conversation. Let's see if it works or not. So now I'll be testing how to make and receive calls on this Maduino board. I have connected this earphone with that 3.5mm jack, and in the serial monitor I'll type a command called as ATD, which is used for dialing a number. Here you need to write the mobile number with the country code. So in my case +91, which is the country code for India, and then I'll type the mobile number on which I need to make the call and press the semicolon, and you press enter, it will make the call. Let us try it out and test it out. Okay, it's ringing inside my earpiece. Let's see if it works or not.
हेलो,
वॉइस कॉल begin. हाँ जी, कौन बोल रहा है?
मेहता सूरज। आप?
सूरज मेहता जी, नमस्ते। आवाज़ आ रही है?
हाँ सर, आ रही है।
और कोई दिक्कत विक्कत?
नहीं, कोई दिक्कत, बिल्कुल दिक्कत नहीं है, एकदम
यार हमें दिक्कत है यार, सब्सक्राइबर नहीं बढ़ रहे।
नहीं सर, बढ़ जाएंगे, बस ये वीडियो लॉन्च हो जाए। बोल दो लाइक कर दिया करें वीडियो को। जी हाँ, ठीक है। जी ठीक है। आवाज आ रही है? हाँ, एकदम ठीक से आ रही है सर।
बढ़िया। So now to hang the call, we have a command called as AT plus CHUP. Now this will hang the call, but hey, before that, मेहता सूरज
हमें कॉल करी होगी, हमने ठीक है सर।
ठीक है, so I'll hang the call with the help of this command, and yeah, the call ended. And now let's just wait for him to call me back, and let's see how to receive the call on this.
Okay, I'm going to call Sachin sir.
Okay, so it is saying ring. That means we are getting a call. So we need to type the command called as ATA to receive it. And yes, voice call begin. Hello.
Hello. आवाज आ रही है? जी हाँ सर, आ रही है आवाज। नमस्कार,
सुनिए। ठीक है, so everything is working pretty fine. Cut कर दे call.
Okay sir.
Great, voice call ended. So this is how you can make and receive call on this 4G module. Now let's move ahead with this video. So that was all about making and receiving voice calls using this Maduino board, and it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. You just need to connect this earpiece and the auxiliary cable and auxiliary jack, and everything is pretty straightforward. Okay, now let's move on to the next step, which is sending and receiving the text message, or we can say SMS. And for that, again, we need to do a couple of configuration. First of all, the command is AT plus CMGF. We need to make it as 1 to receive it in a text mode. Okay, so it is made as 1. After that, we need to add one more command, which is AT plus CSMF is equal to 17,167,0,0, and it's returning one error. Let's just try it once again. Okay, it's CSMP. Great. So all these commands are kind of one-time command. You need to type it just once, and you don't need to do it for the second time, because we are configuring it. As we are using it for the first time, we are configuring all the settings. Once it is set, you don't need to do anything. Okay, you can directly send the message or directly receive the phone calls. Okay, everything will pretty straightforward. And now we are good to go to send an SMS. So I will send an SMS to my mobile phone, and the command is AT plus CMGS is equal to, and here in the double inverted comma, we need to type the mobile number on which we need to send the SMS. So I will type my own number here. I close the double inverted comma, put a semicolon here, and here, as you can see, it is ready to accept the SMS. So we can type here an SMS. First of all, let me just turn on the screen recording of the smartphone to see whether we are receiving the message or not. Okay, so yeah, the screen recording turned on, and here I will type as hello from techiesms. Okay, this is great. We are still it is still waiting to enter some more message. If we want, we can say that's it. Okay, and now to send the message, we need to type the command as 1A. Okay, so message is successfully sent, and let's see. Okay, we received the message from techiesms Studios, which is hello from techiesms, and that's it. So we are able to send the message. Okay, and now to receive the message, you need to do one single configurations, otherwise you won't be able to see the message as soon as it is received. And that single line of configuration is, you need to type the command as AT plus CNMI. I have written all the commands here because it's difficult to remember everything. 2,2,0,0,0. And yeah, we have set it. Again, let me tell you, this is a one-time configuration only. You don't need to do all the time. And now after writing this command, you will be able to receive the SMS as soon as it is sent. So I'll send the SMS from here, which says hello from Sachin Sony. ठीक है, wow, Hindi and Gujarati. ठीक है. So let's wait. Okay, so we got the SMS, we got the phone number here, and we got the message as hello from Sachin Soni. So this is how you'll be able to send and receive SMS using this module, which is pretty common, pretty straightforward. You can write down the code for it as well by just entering a little bit of AT commands. Okay, so yeah, that was all about the calling and the SMS feature. Third is the GPS feature, and for that we need to move a little bit outside because there is no windows here. So we'll go to a Windows side because GPS won't work in indoors. Okay, let's just move to a different location and let me show you how to use the GPS module as well. Let me show you. So right now I'm sitting near to a window, and now let's try to test the GPS module. Let's see if we are getting the coordinates or not. And for that, like to configure the GPS module, you need to type the command. First of all is AT plus CGPS. You need to make it as 1. Okay, it's perfectly fine. Now we need to give a command called as AT plus CGPS info. And here you need to press enter, and well, you need to wait for a couple of minutes, you can say, to get the GPS coordinates. So after you type this command, you have to wait a couple of minutes. Okay, let's just wait for it and let's see if you're getting the GPS coordinates or not. Hopefully we should get it. Okay, so now as you can see, I typed this particular command and I'm getting the latitude, longitude, and the UTC time, you can say, probably, right? So yeah, we are getting the GPS data here, and with this particular thing, one idea came in my mind, like we can make a GPS tracker that don't require any Wi-Fi connectivity, that works straight on the 4G module, standalone, using this particular board. Like GPS is built in, 4G is built in, what else we need? We just need a battery. The GPS tracker project is almost done, right? Well, should I make this project for you? Do let me know in the comments, because I'm pretty much excited to make this project as soon as possible. So do comment below. The more you comment, the more faster our team will work on this particular project. And yeah, now we are left with testing the API section. Now let's just test how to request the API, maybe to control our Blynk appliances. Let's just test it out. Now let's learn how to use APIs in this particular 4G module. Okay? And for that, we do have a couple of commands to be performed, starting with AT plus HTTP INIT, which will initialize the HTTP protocol inside this. After that, we need to type the command as AT plus HTTP para, which stands for parameter, is equal to, it has a particular format. You have to type URL and comma, and again into double inverted comma. Here you need to paste the link or API link, you can say, which you want to request. Okay, in my case, what I'm doing is I'm requesting a Blynk API link. Let me show you that. So here is that API link to turn on and off the appliance just behind me. When I send the data 0, the light behind me will get turned on, and when I send the data 1, it will get turned off, because it's a reverse logic kind of appliance. Okay, but I'll request the same link using my 4G models. I'll paste that link here. I'll give the data 0 because I want to turn it on. I'll press enter, and it will ask me for another parameter, which is AT plus HTTP action. Now here we need to give the command, like which method we want to use to request this link, whether it is a get request or post request. So 0 stands for the get request method and 1 stands for the post request method. And when I type this command, hopefully this should get turned on. Okay, so action, we got the 200 response. That means a successful request code we got in response, and the light got turned on as well. And we can terminate this particular HTTP by typing the command as HTTP AT plus HTTP term, which stands for terminate, and it got successfully ended. Okay, so this is how we can control these appliances with the help of the API link using our 4G module. Now, before moving on to the last section, which is to provide internet connectivity to your laptops and computers, I'll request you to click the like button, because your couple of seconds will decide whether this video will boom or whether this video will degrade and will be buried inside the YouTube algorithm. Okay, your single like, a single comment do matter a lot for a creator like us. It will take a second for you to do that, and it will help us to promote our video, which took weeks and months to make it possible. So do click the like button if you really get some values out of it. Now let's just move on to the last part, which is to provide internet connectivity. So to provide the internet connectivity to your computer using this module, you first need to connect the USB cable on another USB port, which is mentioned as LTE. From that only you will be getting the internet access, and I'll show you the demo of getting the internet connectivity in a Windows computer or a Windows laptop, you can say. But on the website, it also has a documentation for getting internet connectivity on a Raspberry Pi board, so you can follow those documentation. But as of now, we don't have any documentation for the Mac system, so you need to wait for that. Okay, so let's start with the Windows computer. So first of all, you need to to go to the official website of this Makerfabs, and below that you'll need to go to the hardware section, and here you just need to download this GitHub repository because the driver is inside this particular repository. After downloading it, I'll go to the downloads folder, I'll go inside this folder and I'll go inside the drivers part, and here I'll be extracting this particular driver folder, you can say, okay, which is already extracted in my case. I'll go inside that folder, go to the Windows driver and go into Windows 10 folder because I have Windows 10 OS on my system. After that, I'll open up the what we can say settings application. Okay, I'll go inside the settings, go into the devices part, and here I will be clicking on devices and printers. Then here is the SIM incorporated, which is our Maduino board, but we need to update the driver. For that, go inside the hardware, click on the properties, click on change settings, and here click on update driver. Browse my computer for drivers, and here just give the location on which or where which you have extracted that particular driver. So I'll quickly browse to that particular downloads folder. After selecting that, click on OK, and it will automatically install the drivers onto the system. Okay, and after that you need to do this step for all the missing drivers for all the different ports which is mentioned here. Okay, after doing that, now I'll open a new tab in my Google Chrome and we'll open up the youtube.com website, and boom, it got opened up. And as you can see, my Wi-Fi is not at all connected. Wi-Fi is turned off. I'm connected to the Geo 4G, which is, it seemed to be turned off. It is mentioned as turned off, but it's not at all turned off. Let me show you the speed which I'm getting from this Maduino board. So I'll go to the speed test by Ookla, and here I will be clicking on the go button to test the uplink or the upload speed and the download speed. Okay, great. So we are getting the 16 Mbps download speed and 7.5 Mbps upload speed, which is pretty decent. In this kind of speed we are getting in the Geo SIM cards. Okay, so yeah, we are getting the internet connectivity straight from this 4G module from Makerfabs, and it's pretty amazing. And we can get the same connectivity on a Raspberry Pi board as well. I'll leave the link of the documentation down in the description of this video. And yeah, here we come to the end of the video. We have discussed all the things about this Maduino board. We have learned how to use it for basic applications, and I will soon be making a project out of it which was about the GPS tracker which I discussed in this video. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss that out. And also, like, 2G is not at all vanished as of now in India. I just made this video so that you can prepare for the future projects, because in future it seems that 2G will be banned everywhere. Okay, so you should start learning about this stuff. But as of current situation, it is not at all banned, so you can even use the SIM800 modules, like the 2G GSM modules that we have used, or maybe the one which comes with the TTGO TCall board. And as I'm discussing about the TTGO TCall board, I have already made, or rather I'm making one project which is almost completed, and I'll soon be uploading the video of it. It's super interesting, it's super unique, and you're gonna love them all, especially for all the people who lives in India. Will love this project because it's an amazing project. I'll soon be uploading the teaser of this project on my Instagram channel, so make sure you follow us on Instagram as well. And yeah, that being said, I'm just ending this video here and now. Just wait for my next one, then explore, learn, share with me, techiesms.